introduce you all to Jade. Jade is an energetic and precocious 5-year-old, and you can probably picture her dancing around and singing her favorite song, Let It Go, from Frozen, just like many of the 5-year-olds you know in your own lives. But when Jade sang Let It Go last year, she wasn't just singing to be like Elsa from the movie. She was singing Let It Go to her hair, as she lost it during chemotherapy treatments for her leukemia. Now, Jade's disease could have been terminal, but she was lucky because there was a donor on the bone marrow registry who was the perfect match for her type. And with that life-saving bone marrow transplant, Jade today is happy and healthy. So I'm here today to ask you to join the National Bone Marrow Registry. There are many reasons that you should do this, but to me the most compelling is that you could save a life just like Jade's. In addition, matches are extremely rare, so we need more people on the registry so we have better chances of making more matches. And the good news is it's easy and painless for you to help. But let's talk for a minute about what it would be like to save someone's life. Every 4 minutes, someone is diagnosed with a life-threatening blood cancer. That means by the time I finish talking today, there will be another life out there that you could save if you were on the National Bone Marrow Registry. Now, I know some of you have children, and you all have friends and family that you care very much about, and I'd like you to think for a second what it would feel like if one of them was diagnosed with a blood cancer. That is exactly what happened to Ava's family. Ava was diagnosed with a rare blood disease before she even turned 1, and her family was devastated. But she was very lucky that she found Michelle on the bone marrow registry, and this is a picture here of Ava kissing Michelle the first time that they met. Ava's family was so happy and grateful for Michelle, and even before they had a chance to meet, Ava's mother wrote Michelle a letter, and I'd like to read a couple of her words for you. She said, "How do you thank someone for saving your child's life? Your magic bone marrow has changed the course of our lives forever. Thank you for giving us back the future we have hoped and dreamed and planned for. I hope one day we can meet, but for now, sweet angel, I hope you are happy and proud and peaceful and loved." I can only imagine how Michelle must feel knowing that she saved little Ava's life. And if you join the National Bone Marrow Registry today, you will have a chance to save a life just like Michelle did. Each hour, more than 6 people will die from a blood cancer, and many of these deaths are preventable by you if you join the National Bone Marrow Registry today. Unfortunately, it's very hard to make a match with a donor, so we need more people on the registry so we can make more matches. You may have heard that with most living donor transplants like kidneys and partial liver transplants, the best option for a match is within the patient's own family. But in bone marrow transplants, 70% of patients will not have a donor within their own family. That's the case for Jason here, whose own twin sister isn't even a match for his bone marrow. In fact, out of the 11 million people currently on the bone marrow registry, most patients will be lucky if just one of them is a match for their type. We need to increase these odds. If you join the registry today, we will have more people on the registry and more chances to make matches. 1 out of 500 people on the registry will be called as a match for a patient. I myself have been on the registry for over 10 years, and I'm eagerly awaiting that call. And I know that someday someone may need my bone marrow. But there could already be someone out there waiting for you, and that's why you need to join the registry today. Now, what keeps a lot of people from joining is a fear that donating bone marrow is going to be very painful. This has always made me a little bit fearful, even though I'm on the list. So I was recently talking to a coworker, Jeff, who donated bone marrow last year, and I told him, I really admire what you do. You're a hero. You saved a life. But wasn't it painful? Didn't it scare you? And he's the one who told me that actually 75% of donations are now done through a process called peripheral blood stem cells. And this process actually has very little discomfort. It's very similar to donating platelets at a blood center. It's actually exactly what you see Jeff doing in this picture. So if you've ever donated platelets, they take the blood out through one arm, and they spin it through a machine to pull out the platelets, or in this case, they're pulling out the blood stem cells, and then they put it back in through the other arm. The process takes a couple of hours, but there's very little discomfort. It's just the 2 needle sticks. Jeff told me that it was completely painless, and I felt completely back to normal the next day. So that really assuaged my fears about how painful this was going to be, and I hope it makes you feel more comfortable joining the registry as well. The bottom line is that bone marrow donations save lives. But we need more people on the registry so that we can make more matches. We can only save lives if we match the right donor to the right patient. And it's easy and nearly painless for you to help. There are thousands of people like Bella waiting for you right now, waiting for the right donor to join the registry. And so I'm asking you to join today. And so I've actually brought registration kits for you. I'm going to distribute them. There is just this little form that you fill out. It looks daunting. There's not that much information here. You just need to fill out the highlighted sections. And when you're all done, you can return it to me after we're done today or at the break in class or whatever, and I will give you your little kit. And this is your cheek swab kit. You just take your swab and you're going to swab the inside of your cheek. It's really easy. I'll show you how to do it when we do it. We'll return those. I'll make sure they get back to the organization, and that way you will be on the registry. And you may be called right away because there may be somebody waiting, or maybe a few years. Jeff waited 8 years. I've been on for 10, but someday you may have a chance to save a life. If you want to talk more about it, you have questions, feel free to talk to me, or you can go to their website, which is googlematch.org. And thank you all for your time.